Internets, this portion of the Combat Jack Show is brought to you by the Shave God Tristan Walker and our great friends over at Bevel, the first and only shaving system designed specifically for coarse curly hair and sensitive skin. Step up your shave game, Internets, and say goodbye to razor bumps. Now be sure to turn in later. I'm going to tell you about a special offer that's going to let you get the first month of Bevel for free, Internets. Yes, free. By using the promo code COMBATFREE. This offer is only good for the first 300 people, along with limited time holiday pricings through the end of the year. I'll tell you more later, but if you're already sold, go to getbevel.com today and get your first month free with promo code COMBATFREE, COMBATFREE. Now let's start the show.
Get ready for combat. No escaping. Get ready for combat. Get ready for combat. Jack Radio Show.
Internet, you tuned into the Combat Jack Show, the CombatJackShow.com. What's up, A-King?
What's good, player, pimp?
Man, we running, man. We are so pimp. Running, knees to chest. Are we going to take a break, man?
I wanted to, but you know.
Yo, you told me yesterday some weird shit. You said I need to take a break. What the fuck are you talking about?
I said I think you should take a break so we could re-up in 2016. We got a lot going on, a lot happening, a lot, you know, good things, and just to refresh, reboot. That's all.
Are you saying something? You saying that I don't look fresh or some shit?
Nah,
man?
Just that you gotta. It's the end of the year. It's like, you know.
Like, do you understand?
It's like
my
going
dude?
on a cleanse, man. You dealing with the internet space. You dealing with all these energies and all of these. Just need to refresh.
All the noise,
all the chatter.
You know, I'm not paying attention to the noise though. This is therapy for me, man.
I pay attention to all the noise.
You pay attention. I don't, man. This is therapy. But anyway, your internets. I'm so excited, man. Running. Like about our today's guest. I think it's going on damn near 2 years since I pursued this man to be on the show, and I really got to shout out Jamal Jamo, man, for really helping making this happen.
Yeah.
You know, I've been watching this man's moves for several years, and I think it was a couple of years ago I listened to one of your interviews with Howard Stern, and it was really fascinating in terms of just how many ventures you got your hands in,
right.
How much you've done in such a small amount of time, and even the works personally that you've done,
right?
That's inspired me. So without further ado, internets, let's welcome to the Combat Jack Show, actor, rapper, producer, entrepreneur,
DJ,
philanthropist.
Yeah.
Listen, we got Nick Cannon in the building. What's up, Nick?
Combat, what's good, my
man? Dude? Them shoes is good, my nigga. What's going on with them shoes, me?
See, that was crazy. I was like, I just came from the little Victoria's Secrets fashion show, so I was over the top. I had to get my peacock on. You know, I had to make sure they see me up in there.
They saw you. You were seen, my dude. Yo, you came in at the right time, man. Yeah. You got blessed with the links.
That was so love, right?
Yeah. Shout out to CL95. They were in here.
Took us all the way to the Woo era.
Yeah, they blessed us with the commemorative Snow Beach, Lynx Beach, and Nick came in and they gave him one, man. Yo, man, are you that blessed, man?
Man, that's what it is. It's favor. I say it's favor over my life. Wherever I go, people just gonna give me stuff.
Yeah, man. So Chi-Raq.
Yeah, we get
December
right into
4th.
it. Yes. It's real.
What is it about, man? You're playing the titular role.
Yeah. My character's name is Chi-Raq, actually. Right. And honestly, you know, I was blessed to be a part of this project because of my man who has the ultimate vision, Spike Lee.
Right.
And, you know, growing up in the game, just in general, I mean, you know, I'll take it all the way back to 86, 87. Like, that dude, he's one of the reasons why I'm in entertainment, you know, from everything from She's Gotta Have It, School Days, Do the Right Thing. Malcolm X is one of my favorite films. So just to even be in his presence and to be directed by him, I was so looking forward to the opportunity. And then when he told me, he's like, man, he didn't tell me about the script. He didn't tell me about anything, who the other cast members. He said, I'm trying to save lives in the south side of Chicago, in Inglewood. I said, I'm in.
Right.
Like, what we got to do?
Sight on, like, no script, nothing.
Yeah, what we got to do.
Right.
And then when he told me that he took it to a level of old school theatrical approach, and when I say theatrical, I don't mean movies. I'm saying theater,
right? Theater,
in verse and satire, and going with the Greek play Lysistrata and putting it in the South Side. And I was like, oh wow. You know what I mean? The Trojans and the Spartans. You know what I mean? Like that's real right there. You know what I mean? To be able to elevate and take a whole different approach with satire. I was like, I don't know where we going with it,
Right.
but I'm with it. Just
Right.
let me know. And you know, that's what you got to do. You got to follow your director.
So he just came up to you. It was no audition process.
You know what it is? It's an interesting story. I don't even know how detailed I want to get
Right.
into, but I'm gonna give you the 100.
Give us the real, man.
And
Give us the real, like them shoes.
Yeah.
Is giving us some real.
Because I don't know if
Yo,
this
Timbo, take a picture of them shoes, my G.
I don't know if this story really got out there like that, but early on, you know, Spike had always been coming up to me like, you know, he's a fan of my acting. He would see me doing everything. He's like, man, I know you got businesses. I know you know, hosting, producing, music, all that. He's like, but your gift is acting. You know what I mean? You need to get back in front of that big screen. And I was like, yo, Spike, hey, let me know. Like, it's a timing thing.
Right.
The reason why I don't just jump and do every movie is because a lot of, you know, at this point, I don't have enough time. And, you know, time is money. And I'm out here trying to get this guap. But
Wait, stop, my nigga. Trying to get this guap, nigga. You like, how much is enough?
But real talk. But when it comes to art,
Yes.
I'm in.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't care about the check. You
Right.
know what I mean? And this was art and the work with Spike Lee. So I was like, whatever you got, I'm in. And you know, so he told me about this project early on. And then real talk, it was like he had to call me and kind of backpedal a little bit. To his credit, he was like, yeah, man, I think Kanye's going to do it.
Kanye's going to do the fucking lead
role. And I was like, you know what? That's amazing, dog.
Right.
Go ahead, go.
But did you feel a kind of ways, though?
Nah,
like,
I didn't.
okay,
I mean,
right.
because Ye's my man.
Exactly. And,
you know what I mean? And he's from Chicago. And, you know,
and he's carrying Chicago.
Yeah, and at this time, I feel like Common was even a part of the project, too. So I was like, man, it sounds like an amazing project.
Right.
I'm in, you know.
Right.
And even though we had meetings and sitting down and stuff, you know, and talking and building on it, I was ready to gracefully bow out.
Right.
You know what I mean? And, you know, I was already shooting another film that I was directing in Jamaica anyway.
Okay.
I was like, yo, whatever I could do. And then, you know, I don't even know the details of why it didn't happen. But like I said, you know, it's certain type of things that was supposed to be and meant to be in that favor. So it came back around a few months later, and he was like, yo, man, just, you know, I need your summer. Let's just go ahead and rock this summer out in Chicago. And I was like, I'm in.
You got some impressive names in here, man. You got Sam Jackson.
Yes.
How was it working with him?
I mean, that's Sam L.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But I'm saying Sam
from the beginning. I mean,
Sam is thespian,
and he's serious about his
101.
craft.
Exactly.
Serious about his
Right.
craft. It's some real craftsmen in this film. Everyone from Samuel L. Jackson to Angela Bassett
Yes.
to Wesley
Snipes.
Snipes.
Wesley. What's up with Wesley, my dude?
Man, one of the coolest, most down to earth, humble, synergistic type of cat you ever want to meet. You know what I mean? Like, just really balanced, really level, really cool. And obviously in the film, he and I are rivals.
Right.
You know what I mean? He like the old head.
Damn.
You know, but you know, so we played that up on set quite a bit, but at the same time, you know, it was all love.
And there's a rumor that Dave Chappelle
is in this
he's
joint.
in this.
Yeah.
So you're in the best of both worlds, man, because you're definitely talented.
Appreciate it,
as an actor, but your first love is comedy.
Yeah, man.
So how was it to be with these amazing actors, and then with you know, one of the GOATs of comedy?
I love art at
Right.
the end of the day.
Right.
And, you know, it's funny because Chappelle in itself, our relationship goes back years, man.
Right.
You know, he started doing stand-up, you know, seriously when he was a teenager, around 15. And that's when I met him doing stand-up, you know, at the Comedy Store at 15. So he kind of looked at me like, yo, I remember being you.
Right.
So he took me under his wing early, and this is before neither one of us was really famous. I mean, I think he had did that Robin Hood movie or something like that.
Right.
But
what was that movie? Like,
Men in Tights.
Yes.
yeah. But other than that, and I just knew him from, you know, as a stand-up and a cat who started young. So, and a lot of cats reached out to me like that when I was a kid, from Chappelle to Chris Tucker to, you know, Aries Spears. A lot of cats who started young gravitated towards me and gave me a lot of advice early on. And that's a whole nother grind. Like, people don't, it's funny, man, because nowadays people don't really know what it takes to get to where you got.
Right.
You know, I've been doing this since the 90s. You know what I mean? Like, I was around during those Def Jam years and all of that stuff.
It takes 10 years to be an overnight success.
Yeah, man, shoot, 20.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, but those guys paved the way for me, and always, they like my big brothers in the game. So to be able to be in a film with Dave was cool too. But I mean, I opened up on a couple of his comedy tours shows for years. I was on the show, you know, the whole fuck Nick Cannon shit. That's where that comes from.
Exactly.
And people, it's a funny thing, like people think, yo, Dave was beefing with Nick. Like, no, that's like
that's
my big
homie.
brother.
That's a homie.
That's what we do. The only time somebody can say fuck Nick Cannon is because that's my man.
Exactly.
You know, so it's stuff like that, man, where it's like to have a community where you guys can all be artistic together in many different facets is outstanding.
Now, how do you feel, man, about Howard Stern, man, leaving America's Got Talent?
It was heartbreaking, but that's
really like that's not the showbiz shit.
Nah, you know, it was real talk because you know I had my own morning radio show for quite some time, and it actually used to be on Howard's old station. Out here in New York, 92.3 was the numbers, and he had said something early on. He's like, once I leave this station, whoever comes will never be successful there.
Damn. So
he was going at and I think a bunch of people had been there and come and gone and stuff, and he kind of went at me, real and like crazy disrespectful, and like because I actually thought my numbers was crazy over there. So for some reason he saw like, you know, he was over there right when he had first got to satellite, and he was over there talking crazy about.
He used to talk mad shit about you.
Crazy. Like, you know.
Borderline old racist Howard shit.
Yeah, he was going in and even being disrespectful to my family and stuff. So I was like, and it's funny because the people at my station was like, don't talk back, don't acknowledge it, don't say anything to Howard. I was like, I don't give a fuck about no Howard Stern. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so he talk about my wife, I'm gonna talk about your wife,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Or your
like,
ex-wife or whatever.
Whatever it is, you know what I mean? So and honestly, I think he respected that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So then we kind of had this little thing, and he was trying to get me to come on the show. And at the time, I was like, I ain't going on that dude show. I got my own show. You come on my show.
Right.
You know? And
mark your territory.
Yeah. And ultimately, we ended up getting on. I was on at my station. He was at his station. And we did the show at the same time. And then that was right when I heard he was getting a job for America's Got Talent.
How'd you feel about that initially?
I was in it for the craft.
Right.
I was like, yo, let's put these gloves on.
Right.
Let's say but ultimately, you know, we grew to respect each other. And then we grew to become friends.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I started going on the show frequently and regularly. And when I say friends in a real way, like that dude, I mean, I've always respected him as a legend in the game and for his craft. And then for him to bless me with different jewels and kind of as a man, I mean, that man, you know, that he's an elder.
The quote-unquote king of all media.
Yeah, and he's giving me so much great advice as an entertainer, as a man, and as a businessman.
I'm fascinated by Howard.
Yeah.
And Howard is one of my biggest inspirations for why I do the Combat Jack Show. Like, I study him assiduously. His interviewing skills is crazy.
Phenomenal.
And I appreciate the arc from when he used to shit on you to the first time you came on the show to when y'all started working together.
Yeah.
And this friendship that you guys
And that's what I think we respect each other as men now.
Right.
Because he know I ain't no punk. I know he ain't no punk. But at the same time, we respect each other in a way to where it's like, okay, we can talk about anything.
Right.
We can have disagreements. We can, you know, I could teach him, he could teach me. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, that's what friendships are really about. So it's kind of, those are the best friendships when you start off with like, you know, I don't really rock with that dude until you really actually understand.
Ex-enemies make the best friends, man.
That's real.
So what kind of gems did Howard share with you, man?
Everything to where like understanding what you put in front of this mic and then what you don't. You know what I mean? You got to keep a little something for yourself because I made that mistake quite a bit, man.
Well, let's go back to what makes you you, man. Let's go back to the origins. Lincoln Park, San Diego.
Ooh, well, you went all the way back.
Which is where you were born, right?
Yeah.
That's the city that you claim and birthed you, right?
Yeah, and it's interesting because when you hear San Diego, man, most people think, you know, palm trees and Mini Coopers and
bikinis,
surfboards. But then when you think about it, you know, geographically, I mean, that's the city that's closest to the Mexican border.
Right.
And, you know, everything from drug trafficking to lower income and just that community, man, and it's my community because that's the thing. I never want to like play it like, oh, I had it rough and I'm from the hood because it ain't really about that.
But you did though.
Yeah, but you know, it's one of those things to where we all gotta go through something.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's why we relate. We all from these type of communities. We all disenfranchised. And you know, I made some wise choices as a young man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Regardless of, you know, my environments. And I said, yo, entertainment, being an artist, that's where it's at. And but, you know, at the end of the day, you know, people know it's still places in my neighborhood and where I can't really go anymore just because of just whether it's my family, whether the streets we grew up on, whether, you know, what we did back in the day. And now I feel like too much is given, much is required. So that's why I give back to my community,
Right.
both sides, no matter what area, from my block to 5, 6, 7 blocks over. You know what I mean? Because that's what it's really about. We all one, and that's just the message I've been trying to send out to the community in general, man.
But how do you, as a young one coming up, and you got gangs in the community, and you got influences, how do you make those right decisions, man? Like how close did you come to not making the right decisions?
Real talk, and you know, I've told this story quite a few times before, but in a sense where, man, I've never been scared, but that was probably my teenage years. I was scared, man. Like, and
that's real.
And I've grown, you know, to understand the power of being fearless, but I also grown to respect fear too. And I turned my life over to God in a real way. You know, and, you know, I come from a long family of ministers. So when I say God, I'm not talking about the churchly God and all of that. I'm talking about really understanding the God within me and understanding. I remember being 16 years old and having a conversation with my grandfather at the time. And I was like, yo, my man just got shot. You know, before that, the girl next door got shot, you know, walking to school, all that stuff. And I remember being 15 like, yo, when am I going to get shot? Like, it's going to happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's happening. You know what I mean?
It's real.
Yeah, and then
it's palpable. You can taste it.
I remember he gave me a book, you know, and it was a book about speaking things into existence, and the power of faith. And he was like, if you speak that you're gonna get shot, you are gonna get shot. He's like, because of the environment that you're in, and he's like, but he's like, if you speak life, and you speak yourself out of this situation, then that's what you're gonna do. And that's what the book was about. And it was about speaking things into existence. So at the early age of like 15, 16, I grasped that concept. And I just start speaking life, man. I start speaking things into existence. And you got to have a corresponding action with that. You can't just be like, yo, I'm about to be this and be this. Right. You got to believe it and really like talk to yourself in the mirror like, yo, I'm about to get out of here. And literally I had to, you know, I ended up graduating high school early with honors, all of that stuff, and really got my grind on from having a regular job to driving from San Diego, catching rides to the Comedy Store in Hollywood, Improv, all of that. 2 or 3 times a week, 2-hour drive.
What was your regular job, man?
Man, I did everything. Everything from cut hair in the hood.
Did you maintain those skills?
A little. I probably can still do a little bit, but I used to work at a auto mechanic shop too, and luckily the dude who owned the shop used to, you know, give me bread to like cut demos and get studio time.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, so that was love. And then, you know, even, you know, little favors here and there to the local guys that was moving stuff around in the neighborhood.
Right.
And then, you know, shoot, all the way to Wiener Schnitzel, a hot dog stand. You know what I mean? We was, you know, we was in the projects. We was getting kicked out, evicted. I had to pay the rent, you know, so whatever it is, we made it happen. I remember having this conversation with my mom at 16 because she didn't want no parts of the entertainment industry.
Right.
She was like, yo, I can't do this by myself. And you need to get some kind of job and help.
A real job.
And I was like, Mom, if you had this faith in me, I guarantee you in a year. I was like, we got kicked out of one other spot.
Right.
And it was just us living in a 1-bedroom. And she was broken down. And I was like, look, if we just have faith. I was like, yo, if you go to church with me.
And you're telling your mom this.
Telling my mom this at 16. I was like, I guarantee you in a year, I'll be able to pay all the bills. In a year after that, I'll buy you a house. And that's exactly how
Was this that whole speaking into existence thing?
This whole thing, man, it was real.
Now your pops, did he influence you? Because he was like a tele-evangelist.
Yeah, you know,
what was that about, man?
And I gotta go all the way back to San Diego to how that even got kicked in. Both my parents are super young. They had me while they was in high school.
Okay.
So my pops was kind of like a little rah-rah knucklehead dude turned Christian. You know what I mean? That was happening a lot in the 70s and the 80s where cats would change their life over and go into the ministry. So my dad ended up going to like Bible school and seminary and college, all of that in North Carolina where my family was originally from. So my dad wasn't really there during the times when we was in the projects and all of that. He grew up there, but he had to get out. You know what I mean? He got his life together and gave his life to the Lord. So that kind of left me with my mom and his mom back and forth, you know, trying to make it happen, you know, in our neighborhood. So I didn't see, you know, it was one of those things where it's the boys in the hood story more than anything. Like when I was acting crazy, you know, they would send me out to North Carolina, get me out of the gang stuff and all of that stuff. So I would spend time out there. And then I was like, all right, I'm good. I'm ready to go back to Cali. And I would go out, get in more trouble. You know what I mean? So it was always like the back and forth thing. So, but it was a wonderful upbringing, man, because to that point, like my dad taught me how to be a man when I had him in my life. I was my mother's only child and I was my grandmother's baby.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I saw so many different aspects. You know, my mom was married to one of the biggest drug dealers in San Diego.
Wow.
Coming up. So I saw all that
Right.
in the 80s. I was the little kid and sitting shotgun in the.
You was little Kendrick, right?
Yeah,
You see the whole thing.
Sitting shotgun in the Cadillac, you know, whatever it is, El Camino, all of those joints with the Daytons on it, with the truck jewelry and the Gazelles, thinking this is
it.
I want this dude to be my dad.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like this dude, he got it.
Right.
You know, but then not really understanding what was going on in the community, and then, you know, cut to a year or two later. I'm in this church, you know, in North Carolina.
That's crazy.
You know, getting my young preacher on, you know what I mean? So like just having those different upbringings and being so well rounded to where, yeah, I seen crackheads get beat down for bringing change into the house.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So where did the bug come, man? Where did the
I think just attention, dog, more than anything. Loving attention.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it probably goes back to the church, being a dude that comes from the church and watching. You know, being that young kid to get everybody to stand up, the entire congregation reciting this. And
it was a drug to you.
The
whole command of the audience.
Yeah, seeing my dad captivate people and touch people and seeing, you know, I come from, like, the way his father speaks and the way his mother speaks, you know, all of them ministers and
that's an amazing thing to pass on, man. Like certain cats that I talk to that come from that line of people that have done public speaking in the black churches. That shit is special, man.
It truly is, because it's not only, I mean, because it is entertaining.
Yes.
Let's keep it all the way 100.
It's definitely entertaining.
It's entertaining.
Most entertaining point of the Sunday, man, other than football.
It's so fulfilling, though, man, because it entertains your spirit.
So what was it about comedy, though?
You know what? I can't even front, because that wasn't in my family. You know what I mean? That was, you know, because it was all about the word and music. Music was definitely in my family. But comedy, I just fell in love with, like, Eddie Murphy Raw and Delirious, and these were the things I wasn't supposed to watch.
Right.
And my pops he didn't allow television and worldly stuff. And
because his like evangelical.
Yeah. So he's like, don't be bringing that type of stuff in my house. But he sort of had a knack for it. And he thought I was funny.
Right.
And he was like, all right, this is what I'm going to let you do. He's like, I don't want to hear that, but I'm going to let you write your own stuff. And I'm going to give you a platform to allow you to do that. So while he was doing the public access televangelist stuff, he gave me that same platform. He's like, yo, here's the camera.
Right.
Here's the studio. Go in there and make your own.
Okay.
And that's what I did. So I would sneak and listen to Eddie and Martin and all of that type of stuff, and then go and do the clean version.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Richard Pryor, all of that.
So you were digging back to Richard.
Yeah, man. And that's even to my pops, because he was like, yo, well, when I was your age, this is
so
what
did he keep the stash, or he just pointed you in the right direction?
That's how he's such a real dude. He was like, look, what these words and the things he's saying, I don't feel this way, but I understand, and you can, you know, you may not want to use these words,
but
in my congregation, but
that's dope.
And he taught me early on the power of words, man. He's like, don't ever act like you can't say something or that you're not allowed to say something, but just understand the power in these words.
So how do you go from there, from working with your dad's equipment to actually taking the leap now and doing, like, testing your hand at stand-up, like going to the improv and the comedy store, like a fit, like this is like the gladiatorial, like the real joints.
So what happened, you know, early 90s, I was back in North Carolina doing the church circuit, you know, opening up for my pops, 12, 13 years old. So
telling jokes.
So
what kind of joke are you saying? Give me a joke.
It wasn't even
that evangelical
funny.
joke.
It was them Jesus jokes. Shadrach, Meshach, and a big black Negro, like all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, just, you know, talk about Jesus' first miracle, turn water into wine, and, you know, like all that stuff to where people were like, just to see this young 12, 13-year-old being funny.
Right.
And at the same time, still understanding the stories and, you know, talking about Jesus' stepdaddy, Joseph, and how he was disrespecting him. And, you know, little nigga in there walking on water right now. You know, like all of that type of stuff.
Now did this take away your fear?
It did.
Like being on stage.
You know what's interesting? Because I never had fear on stage, because when you're young, you don't know you're supposed to be scared.
Right.
I just wanted the attention.
Right.
So I didn't have stage fright. I wanted to get up. I wanted as many people to see me as possible.
Of course.
So I never had that moment where, I'm nervous because I was a kid. When you put a kid up there, and I
It's
do
natural.
I do that same thing with my children. When you start getting them in front of people and talking to people and stuff, it's just, that's who they become.
Right.
That's who they are. So there is no fear when it comes to that. Fear is something that's taught.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
From experiences or from what you read or from what you see and everything.
Exactly. So growing up, and stand up is one of the most difficult crafts in this entertainment game, and you get booed. The best get booed. You know what I mean? You think you got it, and then
and it's crickets and
boos and silence and all that stuff, but that makes you the better.
Is that the most
entertainer.
frightening thing about stand up is listening, like hearing
That
silence?
You got to respect the silence.
Right.
I love the silence.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially because that means the silence is going to be a great thunderous roar if you time it right.
Right.
You know what I mean? But those people who don't know how to respect the silence get
they fall
fearful
apart.
of it.
They fall apart. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but and even like I'm one of those dudes. If you watch how I do stand, I interact with the audience. That's where the improv comes from and all of that. And I want people to talk back to me. I want them to say what they got to say because that's kind of how I came up in the church.
Right.
People, you need that energy.
Call and response.
Yeah. So even if it's a cat that, you ain't funny, well, let's talk about it then.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that to me is the reality, the true honesty of the core. So that's where I get it from.
Talk about that environment, man. Like at 16, 17.
It's fun, man. I can't even front. Getting out of all of the crazy rah-rah stuff that was going on in my neighborhood and getting the opportunity to go up to Hollywood.
Right.
And a lot of cats took me under their wing, man, or just because I was a kid and I was a little kid in Hollywood. So they thought it was funny. So I was sleeping on Jamie Foxx's couch.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? He took me. He's like, yo, this kid is crazy.
Right.
Where's his daddy? Where's mama at? Like, he just out here.
Do I need to call the services?
Yeah, 2 in the morning on Sunset Boulevard cracking jokes. Who is this kid? So the same thing with Chappelle. Like, all of these cats would see me. And, I remember being backstage at, like, the Comedy Store, sitting there watching Chappelle, Tucker, Eddie Griffin, Jamie Foxx, like just laughing and joking. And I'm like, yo, I want to be like these guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? These cats is 10, 15 years older than me. And they just took me under their wing. That was the time of my life, man. Real talk.
Did you have an inkling that Dave would go through the left?
I never knew Dave was going to be that.
Right.
I didn't know he was going to be legendary, but when you call Dave a comics comic.
Mm-hmm.
All the comics come run in the room when he go on stage. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, he about to do something. You know what I mean? He wasn't necessarily the crowd favorite.
Right.
But,
there was an energy about him.
It was like he was a comics comic.
Right.
He was smart. He was intelligent. He had his own timing, his own pacing. So you knew he was special.
Right.
You know what I mean? Opposed to because at the time, you had Eddie Griffin was on he had his own TV show and he was doing movies. Tucker was out of here.
Yep, out of here.
You know what I mean? This was right after Friday, and Fox was Fox. He had been in Living Color for
so he was the veteran, kind of like
and the Jamie Foxx show was popping. You know what I mean? So this was that time that late '90s, or right in that mid '90s, and this was that time where you knew this cats who was gonna do it.
Right. Who was some of the new?
At the time,
comics.
It was the cats that I was coming up with.
Your class of comics.
Cat Williams.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I would probably say who else? The D-Rays.
Right.
And then I would feel like, Kevin and them came out like a little bit later.
Right.
You know what I mean? They came out like when it was probably like right when the 2000s.
Right.
So
now, were you also a dancer on Soul Train?
Yeah. Well, that's what you could think about it. I was a kid in San Diego just trying to get out.
Yep.
And Hollywood was a 2-hour drive away. And so what we would do, whether I was driving up from or catching a train or whatever from San Diego, we would just stand outside of these spots. So whether I was standing outside the Comedy Store or Paramount Studios at Soul Train, I was like, yo, y'all just gotta let me in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And at that age, there's no ego. Like, I'm not waiting on no line. Like you trying to get in.
I was just standing.
This is a dream. This is a dream manifesting.
And I think because even at Soul Train,
right.
at the time, it was comedians was hosting the show. So you had like the Maestro Clarks and all that. So I was just trying to get in and meet people. I was trying to meet Don Cornelius. I was out there chasing chicks. I was out there chasing Destiny's Child and Maya.
Of course.
Yep. And so I was
Maya.
that's like I was trying to.
Did
they was there.
Did that happen?
Nah, man. You know, we was
Enough
kids.
happened. We get to what happened.
We was kids, though. At time, you just wanted a
Just-
phone number.
yeah, exactly.
That's all, I got the number.
That was the nut. The nut was the number.
He was the early finger bang champ.
And then you gotta remember, I wasn't nobody. I was just a little 15-year-old kid from San Diego with a Nautica on and some felines. You know?
How does this end? How do you get to Nickelodeon? Like, you're out here, you're doing the right things, you're doing a stand-up, you're doing a Soul Train thing.
15, 16 years old, just running the streets of Hollywood more than anything.
Right. I know you've seen some shit too.
Yeah. I got that time to actually get on stage and perfect my craft, and I had probably about a solid 10 minutes, man. And I did everything where, you know, the Bay Area Black Comedy Festival. I was the youngest dude in that. The only dude that was, and I was younger. The other one before that was Tucker, was Chris. So everybody was like, yo, this kid's winning comedy competitions and all this stuff. And I got a chance to do comedy. I was doing every Monday nights at the Improv. And
which is a big deal.
Yeah. And the producers, and still to my managers to this day, of a lot of the Nickelodeon shows, came in and saw me doing my thing. Actually came in with Kenan Thompson.
Right.
They was actually there to see another comedian, and they said, like, yo, who's this kid? And they was like, they took the meeting, and from that point on, I didn't even get on TV. I was I got the job even before the writer. I was the audience warm up for all the Nickelodeon shows.
What's the audience warm up do, man?
So pretty much,
hey guys,
hey guys, come on in, sit down, have a great time. But yeah, you entertain the audience while they, television taping takes about 4 to 6 hours.
Yes.
So you got to entertain those
Keep them
200
interested.
people that sit there to laugh. Right. So I was doing, but it was great for me because I was rapping, I was dancing,
which is amazing because that's what you do right now.
Yeah,
that's crazy,
and
man.
They take it all the way back then, and then I would watch what they was doing on the set, and I was like, man, I could do that stuff.
Right.
So I started writing, and I would go to Kenan, I would go to Kel, I would go all these to the other writers, like, yo, I got an idea, and then eventually the stuff was good.
Right.
And they allowed me to be, I was the youngest staff writer in television history.
Television history.
Yeah, 17 years old.
Yeah, how was it working with Kenan and Kel, man?
Man, those are my guys. Those like they 3 years older than me, and especially Kenan, man. That's like my big brother, even still to this day. And cats don't even, it's so funny, man, because, Kel from Chicago.
Right.
Kenan from Atlanta.
Right.
Like,
these is real cats.
These is real cats. You know what I mean? But, of course, you see us, and we're performing for you. So we're not going to be the way we would be on the block with the homies, but it's like we gonna be performers and be professional, but at the end of the day, they solid, real dudes. So to grow up with cats like that and have them getting it, you know what I mean? Cats is making a lot of money on television for some young teenagers. So to be able to keep that level head, I mean, because even at that time, look at all the other people who came up with us, who ain't really, who didn't have that solid upbringing, who didn't have those families who was really holding them down in a real way. So to this day, I admire those dudes and grateful to those dudes for, taking me under their wing early on.
Was there ever any opportunities for you to do Saturday Night Live?
We talked about it. I mean, Lorne Michaels is somebody I respect, had plenty of meetings with him. I actually worked with him on a couple other projects and stuff. And but honestly, man, it's never, I don't know. I'm one of those dudes that like to do my own thing. So even the times that it did come up, I just downplayed it, like, nah, I'm not really interested.
So it was close.
Yeah. I mean, even the auditions and like they wanted me to, I was like, nah. Early on, I was like, because I had my own shows, I had my own deals.
You had the spinoff, the Nick Cannon show.
Yeah.
Now, how was that, man? You get your show. You're 8. How old are you now? 18, 19.
You know what's even crazy? I'll give you a quick backstory to how that all jumped off too. To be real talk, Nickelodeon wasn't rocking with me as on-air talent.
Right.
They were like, he's the writer, he's the comedian kid. We got enough black people,
And weren't you too old to? Or?
Nah, what happened was, because I was still about 17, 18, and I would have loved to be on the show.
Right.
But during that process, I went and got with Will Smith and signed to Overbrook and had a deal at the WB for my own show with, like, it was supposed to come on after Jamie Foxx. So I was starting to put, like, I went from, like, catching rides to Nickelodeon to pulling up in a brand new Range.
Wait.
Crazy.
So how do you hook up with Will Smith, man?
Same situation. I think I was actually doing stand-up down in Atlanta, and everybody heard about this kid who was charismatic and funny, and Will was like, yo, I heard about your stand-up. I want to take a meeting with you. And in Atlanta, his people connected us, and we got back to LA, and he was like, man, you remind me so much of myself when I was 16 years old.
Which is crazy, because that man had
Yeah.
amazing talent at that age.
And he was all, real talk, growing up, you know, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince,
Yeah.
that was the first cassette I ever bought. You
That's
know what
crazy.
I mean?
That's
Parents
crazy.
just don't understand.
Now, are
Nightmare
you
on My Street.
starstruck? When
Yeah,
you seen this, are you
but
nervous?
See, you know what's funny? It's like at the time, because coming from where I come, I looked at Will the same way people look at me today. Like,
Right.
he cool, but you know, he ain't DJ Quick.
Yeah, he ain't that dude. Right.
He ain't, you know, like, so I rocked with him.
Right.
But I wasn't, you know, at that time, I thought I was cooler than he was. Where I didn't understand that this was the biggest movie star, the biggest mogul,
like
and
this,
so humble and
what
so
movies
cool.
is he shooting at the time?
This was this was like right after Men in Black.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So but I didn't even understand until he brought me into his world, and I'm seeing buildings that he ain't got an office, he got a building.
A building.
You know
I'm going to that building to do some work.
that's the Will Smith building.
So I thought the connection with you and Will came through music.
Well,
but it was comedy.
It was comedy, and then he found out that I did music,
Right.
and then that's at 16. That's when I was I used to DJ
Right.
too. So he introduced me to Jeff, took me to Philly, introduced me to Biz. So I really felt Will introduced me to hip hop in a real way.
Right.
He connected me with. I was on the road with Biz Markie. I was learning it like at 7. This is 17 now.
Right.
So at that time, I was like, forget Nickelodeon and all of that other type of stuff.
I'm grown now.
I'm grown, and they wasn't giving me the love. So then what ended up happening, by the time I got to be 18, Nickelodeon caught notice.
Right.
And they was like, this is the kid that Will sign and doing big things over there. Let's go ahead and bet on him.
Right.
Let's double down on the kid. And that's when that allowed me to have the type of deal that I got over there, where
Right.
I was able to write, produce, and create and star in my own vehicle, because I didn't want to be over there no more, because y'all dissed me when I was.
Right. Did you come back with an attitude?
Nah, I didn't.
Or focused on winning?
I came back humble.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that was even advice from like Will and a lot of cats, like, yo, get it. Let these people love you. You know what I mean? And don't be like, oh, I'm too, because that's in my mind, I was like, yo, I'm too old for Nickelodeon. You just showed me this movie life. You just showed me this.
You want me to go back?
He was like, no, that's your audience. Go
Right.
get them. So
Right.
even at 18, 19.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Internets. Last week you heard the Razor God Tristan Walker on the Combat Jack Show talking about this week's sponsor, Bevel. You guys told me how much you love that Tristan was rocking a two-tone do-rag in private school. Internets, we love that you love the interview, but now it's time to show a little support for Bevel and the Combat Jack Show. Now, how do you do that? It's easy. Go and cop the Bevel for Christmas. As a father, I could promise you this is what will make your pop smile at Christmas. You've already fucked up your entire life giving your father shitty gifts. Change that path right now. Break the cycle, internets. Break the cycle. It's also a great gift, ladies, for your boyfriend, maybe your baby daddy or your son that's hanging out with them gang members, throwing up them gang signs because that little nigga is misguided. Get himself a Bevel so he can shave right and start living his life right. Instead of throwing up them gang signs and colors, get him right. It's also a perfect gift for the ladies out there too. Combat Jill can attest to it. Bevel works great on her legs, and when her legs are shaved, my nigga, oh my God, dinner time. So when you put together that Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, whatever the hell holiday list you subscribe to, do not forget Bevel. I hope you guys came up with some good deals during Black Friday. I don't do Black Friday because I'm boycotting, but this coming week, let's make it a real Black Friday by supporting Tristan Walker, Walker Company, and the Combat Jack Show. As a community, we need to do better supporting black businesses, especially ones like Bevel and the Combat Jack Show that are consistently delivering high quality products and content day in and day out, back to back. So having said that, today we got a special deal for you for the holidays. Get your first month of Bevel for free. Yes, internet's free by using the promo code COMBATFREE. That's COMBATFREE at getbevel.com, GETBEVEL.com. But no, this offer is only good for the first 300 people who sign up. They'll get the first month free, plus limited time holiday pricing. So if you've been waiting and wanting to try Bevel, now is the perfect time to get Bevel by going to getbevel.com today and using your promo code and getting that first month for free. COMBATFREE is the promo code, Combat Free. Go to getbevel.com, Combat Free. Internets. Enjoy the holidays. And now back to the show.
So you're getting advice like from Howard Stern. You're getting advice from
Elites.
Will Smith.
Right.
Like what is the quality about you that's attracting these people? Is it the youth thing? Because everybody wants to help the kid, but that can't just be it.
I think it was just me being so hungry,
Right.
and me wanting to work so hard. That's what this game is. When you see, and even to me, when I see people work hard and really want it, that separates the meek from the strong.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and it, in a real way, it's like those people like, yo, I'm gonna get it by any means necessary. And those people, they want to help those type of people that have those
Right.
type of ideas and visions. So that's how we was rocking with it.
So you make kind of like this detour,
Yeah.
and jump into music. You jump into the music business.
Well, see, and going back, you know, that I always did it. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like literally in these talent shows and stuff from teenagers, and I would be in it twice. I would be a rapper. But me and my rap group was called the Bomb Squad back in the day,
Right.
and I would do stand up, and then we would come in first and second. You know what I mean? Like, so I was always doing music, and I would DJ. Like I was.
So you're doing it all.
I was that kid, like had the turntables,
Right.
cracking I was the entertainer of the neighborhood.
Right.
And so being able to always do that, putting mixtapes together. So when I showed that stuff to Will, that was what he said, yo, you remind me of me because you do it all.
You do it all.
You know what I mean? And you have the ability to make people laugh and to make people like you. And that's kind of, so he gave me that opportunity. And he was like, one thing, you can't play with this music though. So he always tell me, I'm putting you to hip hop school. I'm putting you in hip hop camp.
Right.
And that's why he put me with cats like Jeff and Philly and Biz and a lot of the cats out here
Like
in New York.
legends, like legends.
And he's like, learn from them before we step one foot in the
Right,
studio.
right.
Because I was just like, yo,
Let's
this
go.
big Willie style time. When is my getting jiggy with it?
I'm ready. I'm
You
ready
know
for
what
the
I mean?
videos. I'm ready for the chicks. And
Put me with Tony Polk. I need a track master joint. I'm ready.
Right.
He's like,
but
nah.
how different was it for you, man? Did you enjoy being a recording artist? Because it's a whole.
I'm a child of hip hop.
Right.
At the end of the day, I mean, the recording artist stuff is whatever. Right? Getting people to begging people to play your records. That's you know.
Right.
I get that grind, but man, I just make records and do that because I love hip hop, like to the core, like all the way back to its origin. I love DJing, I love breakdancing, I love rhyming, freestyling. Like that's even why I created Wildin' Out, because like man, I love hip hop.
Right.
So anytime, like for Will to introduce me to Biz Markie and DJ Jazzy Jeff and MC Light, all of these people, Slick Rick, who was my favorite.
Royalties.
He introduced me to Slick Rick one day, and I was like, yo, this is the dude I always wanted to be like. And for those dudes to embrace me, that's all I needed, man. And it wasn't about, I wasn't ever really trying to be the biggest or best rapper. I knew what I could do, but I just wanted to be a part of the culture.
Did Will inspire you to do Parents Don't Just Understand?
Nah, he actually didn't want me to do that.
He didn't want you to.
I didn't want to do that.
Right.
That was a Nickelodeon call. Right. And it was like,
what did he tell you when you told him you were going to remake that record?
He was like, all right.
He was like, we did it already.
He's like, do your own. And this was by the time, I think I was 20 by then.
Right.
So I didn't.
But you still.
Yeah, but
with typecast as like the young kid.
Yeah, it was crazy. I actually
the older young kid.
I produced the beat.
Right.
Casting, and that's what I was like. I'll just do the beat.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then they brought some other producers in to reflip, because I had the beat sounding like the OG joint. And then they wanted to make it sound a little more poppy.
Right.
And I was like, all right. And at this time, I was playing, because I started the Nickelodeon records, the Nick records, with Jive and all of that.
Right.
So this was my first project that I was producing through there, and it still was successful.
Right. How'd the record do?
It was a soundtrack.
Okay.
So it was successful for the Jimmy
Neutron.
Yeah,
right?
so it was successful, but it wasn't the first look coming out the gate as a hip hop artist
that you wanted. Right.
Yeah. So
and how hard is it, man, to change your image from like TV kid to a rapper? Like talk about how impossible.
Man, it's so impossible. But that's why I salute cats like Drake and all of that type of stuff. And I remember, it's funny, Drake in his mixtape days, he had a line. He was like, Nick and Will never did it this ill. Yeah, but it was, and we laugh
talking about that experience from going from TV, child TV to.
I salute him, man, because I know how hard it is, and I know what is but the secret is to just be yourself.
Right.
And I'm so complex and so many different sides to me that cats would, like, even to this day, when it's like, the same dude on America's Got Talent ain't the same dude on Wildin' Out.
Right.
Who is he really? I'm both those cats.
Both those cats, yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like you, man. Yeah. Like, you know how to go in there and speak the legal jargon and get it down, but you can also talk with the Ross and the grimiest.
Talk that street talk.
And that's what it's all about,
exactly.
man.
Multilingual,
and there's nothing
multifaceted.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I think that's what accentuates our brilliance and our excellence.
Right. But it's also embracing who you are to your core and not trying to be something that you're not.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, call me corny. I'll be corny, my G. Like, you know what I mean? And that's like where a lot of my.
But you know what? That's how you slaying cats.
Yeah.
Cause I'll be that corny cat.
Yeah.
But don't let me sit next to your chick, man.
Exactly. Chicks like that corny stuff.
Show her them
But even
shoes.
you know what's real talk, because I always go back to my neighborhood and
Right.
talk, and I keep those cats around me.
Right.
And even it's interesting. The dudes I came up with would be like, dude, we wish we had your opportunity. You
Right.
do. We let us hold the street
Right.
down.
We got you. We don't want you
Go
here.
be that
Right.
guy.
Right.
Go, you know what I mean? Like, and it's funny because I always tell people, you know, it's a cat that I keep in my life to this day that I grew up with. That's my blood brother. We grew up in the same project, all of that stuff. And we did everything the same. Music, comedy, all that. This was my road dog. He was 2 years older than me. And around that 15, 16-year-old time, I went right, he went left. Everything from crazy, from robbing casinos, continuing
he
the
went
drug deal,
hard.
doing 10 years, going back like crazy,
Right.
and getting out. And that's what's still my heart.
Right.
We writing this story right now.
Right. Oh, that's crazy. That's dope, man.
But to know like we could have switched paths.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because we did everything the same.
He is I, and I am he.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and I think everybody has those type of people in their life to where like, I could have been that dude. I could have been locked up. I could have been the one that the cops came and got crazy with. You know what I mean? Like, but obviously when you're blessed, you got to recognize it, analyze it, and now that you're blessed, you got to be a blessing to those that weren't, who didn't get that same opportunity.
Yeah. So how do you go from that to real Hollywood? Like, how do you get your first?
First thing that got everybody noticing,
Yes.
Drumline.
Drumline is amazing, dude.
Yeah.
And I gotta shout out Charles
Stone.
the third, because I was always
truth.
like, people don't remember when he was Chuck Stone.
Chuck Stone directing all the Tribe videos.
Doing all the Tribe videos.
Yeah.
Doing the You Could Get With This.
You could
he
get
was
with
doing
that.
groundbreaking.
He did Bonita Applebum. The silhouette in that video is Chuck.
And the fucking Budweiser campaign. What's up?
That's all him.
I've always been a fan of his.
Yeah.
And then when I heard that he did the Drumline, I was like,
yo, real talk. Before Drumline, you know where he really killed it?
Where?
The Paid in Full.
Yes. Paid in Full
He
movie.
did them both the same year.
The Paid in Full movie. Classic.
That dude is one of the most amazing filmmakers.
Yo, why is he not more
I don't know.
That's his personal choice, I would
I
imagine.
don't know, because, I mean, he's so outstanding. He has such an eye and an outstanding vision. But I mean, you know, it's probably a lot of politics in this game, man.
Right.
You know how that go. You know, they give you a few shots,
And
then
he
they move on.
seems like a real authentic cat.
He's an artist.
So it's like he's gonna do what he wants to do.
He's not gonna play that game.
Right.
He's not gonna play.
But how'd you land that role, man?
It's interesting, man, because it's funny. I heard T.I. talk about this before, because like, yo, they auditioned every person, every young black man in hip hop.
T.I. auditioned for that.
Yeah,
role?
and you know, he's from Atlanta.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Atlanta, New York, everybody auditioned for this joint. And I play a little. I'm a musician, so I mess around on the drums a little bit. Now this is at the time when you take general meetings at studios, and they told me about this project. And I was like, yeah, I play drums a little bit. And it's like, oh, we want you to come in and read. Yo, I had to go in that joint like 8 times. And I was never a good auditioner.
Right.
But it was like, I guess it was.
Was it something about you that kept them bringing you back? Or?
I guess Charles saw something. And it's funny. On the set of The Parents Just Don't Understand video,
Right.
they had to pull me off the video to go meet with Chuck. I hadn't met with him before.
Right.
And it was like, I was like, yo, I don't even know about this drum movie. I can't lead this video shoot. And everybody was like, nah, you might just want to go. And I ended up missing the meeting with him and went to his hotel.
Right.
And had a man-to-man with him, apologizing for the respect of his time, and just talked to him as a man. He was like, yo, I think you know, you might be able to really do this. So I think the conversation and our connection was even better than
off audition.
Yeah, it wasn't even an audition.
My dude, you killed that role.
Thank you, man.
Like the acting
Appreciate
was
it.
real, and so my perception of you is this corny
Yeah.
Nickelodeon kid.
Right.
And here you are, man, like giving us the drama and the full range, man.
Yeah.
Like were you trained as an actor?
Never, dog.
So how were you
I ain't
able
take
to
no
pull,
classes, none of that stuff.
like how you able to pull Like
It's
the sadness and the water and all of that and the eyes and everything,
it's
man.
authenticity, dog. That's really what it is. Acting is actually being, you know what I mean, and just being in that situation. And I guess, I mean, I'm not one of those cats who take life experiences. I just become who that character is,
Right.
and really tap into it and finding the authenticity in what that person would naturally do. And I think it's one of those things. It truly is. It's a gift. Like, everybody can't do it. But when you can, in every role, you can't find the authenticity.
Right.
I've done some stuff where it just wasn't authentic.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What are you embarrassed about, man?
I ain't embarrassed
Right.
about nothing, but I joke about all the things. Everybody from the love don't cost a thing with
Yup.
the goofy ass hair. But some people love that
Right.
to zombie movies. I'm a fan of them type of flicks.
Day
So
of
I
the
was
Dead,
like,
right?
Yeah,
Day of the
So I
Dead,
was like,
right?
yo, I like that
Right,
shit.
right.
But I understand too, like, when you're focusing on your true craft, you got to make certain decisions.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I feel like early on, I was going after the dollar.
You're trying to get it.
And I took that check, bought moms a crib and
Nice.
all of that stuff.
Now, what'd you buy yourself, man?
I mean, I definitely.
What was the dumb rapper shit you did with your?
Probably the $2 million shoes.
You bought? Wait. Hold on. What? What are you talking about?
But see, you know what?
Wait. No. What are you talking about?
Because that was
man?
recently, so I got to clear this up.
Oh shit!
It's for charity.
Okay.
So how much are those?
Now these is.
Wait, hold on. Let's stay focused.
Really, what we did, I went to my jeweler and I was like, I want to do something over the top, flamboyant for the finale of America's Got Talent.
Yes.
The winner wins $1 million, so I want to do some $1 million shoes.
Right.
Getting the Guinness Book of World Records, world's most expensive shoes. I was like, we'll do it, and then what we'll do, I got a lot of charities that I support. I was like, we're gonna auction off the shoes and donate all of the funds to charity.
Right.
So it's like you putting the money in the right place and you're getting the diamonds from the right place and doing that. And we got a lot of attention. So and it took a year to build the shoes, and the shoes ended up costing more than $1 million.
What size shoes? What size?
12, yo.
12?
So 12 times 4. So that was, but I wouldn't say that was dumb, but I think I'm kind of over the whole
Right.
the jewelry thing. But
Right.
early on when
The jewelry?
I was buying the dumb jewelry and the cars and stuff, and like that there's a side of me. I'm flashy when it comes to that type of stuff. So I
Yes.
still do that and I enjoy that. But you also got to have some real estate, and so
and reinvest in your own businesses.
so
and
make sure
properties.
your portfolio is strong and all of that.
How intense was the training, the drum training? You said you came in as a
Super.
musician.
Yeah, but I had never done any
Right.
core style marching
Right.
or any of that stuff. So we was doing 6 hours a day, 2 months beforehand, just training, man. I had never done any of that stuff, like
Right.
all those cadences. And it was all about learning the 16 cadences that are actually in the film, and mastering those. So we would just learn them, just repetition, just going through and actually trying to march and play those things at the
That
same
shit must
time.
be crazy.
All those young people who do that, man, my hat's off to them.
Were you at a point where you're like, you know what, just use some CGI, some shit?
That would have took away from the authenticity.
Right.
I had to get it. I was supposed to be the dopest drummer out there,
Yeah.
so I had to make sure cats saw the flair.
Was there a point where it's like, I might not make this?
Nah, I had to get it.
Right.
I was sleeping with drumsticks in my hand, like
You was really doing
and
that shit.
I moved in with the drum corps. I was
Right.
like, yo, y'all can have your little hotel room
Right,
and all
right.
that stuff. I'm going in. These cats, we gonna do this and
Right.
really live this, and that's it. It
Now
was
you pulled it off, man. And then
Thank you, man.
And Zoe, man.
Yeah, that was her breakout.
Oh my God.
Joint. That was Zoe. I
Oh
remember
my
the screen
God.
test.
Yo, that was beautiful, man.
Yeah, she's amazing. She represented for all
Amazing.
the beautiful young black HBCU young
Yes,
women out there.
Now that's a classic, man.
Yeah,
and then let's talk about Roll Bounce, man.
Yeah, I never wanted to do that joint.
Really?
That was crazy. That was another.
Shout out to Malcolm Lee.
Yeah, that was what it was when they presented it to me. And I didn't know how special that movie was gonna be. You know what I mean? I just heard they want to do a movie in the 70s
a
about
period
roller
piece,
skating.
yep.
And I wasn't necessarily the star.
Right.
So I was like, nah, I'm good.
Right.
And then the check was right. The check was
The
a star check, though.
yeah, right.
So I was like, oh, okay, let's go. And then once, I had never worked with Malcolm before.
Right.
And, I heard he was Spike's
Yes,
cousin and all of that. And I was like, and once I sat down with him and I saw he had a vision.
And his what I appreciate about Malcolm is, even though he's Spike's younger cousin, he has a completely different. You can't really tell.
Yeah, absolutely.
You definitely can't tell, man.
And his storytelling is compelling too,
Yeah.
man. He captures you. So I enjoyed it, man. We shot that in Chicago.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And
Right.
it was cool. So we had a lot of fun with that joint.
Did that open up the floodgates to scripts and the whole nine?
You know what? And man, that's a whole nother conversation of how that game works. Of when you that it guy, when they focused on you for a minute, they sending you everything.
Right.
And then it's like now it's like I wasn't trained for this. I want to just act.
Right.
I don't know how to pick scripts.
Right.
I don't know how to decipher whether I should do this for the money. And luckily, I did have cats like Will,
Yes.
who could say, yeah, man, don't take that or don't do that. So, but man, I turned down some roles
What roles did you turn down,
Man,
man? Please tell us.
I turned down that role in Crash.
Really?
Yeah, in Crash when Crash came to me where they were saying like it was an independent film.
Right.
And this was a time where it's like,
was it the Luda?
It was me. It was gonna be me and Luda. Lorenz ended up doing it,
right,
and he rocked it. You know what I mean? But it was like
classic movie.
Classic. Went all the way to the Oscars.
Oscars, yes.
You know what I mean? And I think I went and did one of them little silly joints or something like that. And I was like,
check.
man, but I didn't know. There was like it was no money.
Right.
The role it was raw, and I was like, this isn't the image we're trying to put out there. Should I do?
What was the image you were trying to put out?
At that time, that was nice guy, Nickelodeon, friendly,
yes.
all of that stuff.
Maintain what worked for you.
So
what else? What other?
Oh man, it was some interesting stuff, man. Is a lot of I think it was like the Great Debaters with some stuff. Stomp the Yard,
damn.
It was a bunch of those joints because I also didn't want to do anything that felt like Drumline.
Right. You didn't want to be typecast.
Yeah, I wanted to do something different.
Right.
So it was a lot of those scripts running around too. So I mean, and it happened the way it was supposed to happen. You know what I mean? And that's how you gotta embrace it in this game. Everything isn't for you, and as much as you may want to be a part of a project, you put it out there the way you can, and then if the universe don't talk back, then you keep it moving.
So how do you? Cause you seem like a cat, man. That when the road is going straight and things are going exactly how most people think it should be going,
right?
You're gonna turn.
Oh yeah. You got to keep them guessing.
You're gonna turn.
You got to keep them guessing.
So here you are now. You're this rising star,
right,
in Hollywood, and you're proven you're proven box office.
Right.
You prove you're being applauded for your skills.
Right.
And then how do you come back full circle to comedy, man, and go back to the box, the TV,
yeah,
and wilding out, man?
It was
what
about
brings you to that? Again?
Owning and creating something of my own.
Right.
Because that's what the content is king, and ownership in this game is what it's all about.
Of course.
So I got tired of going to auditions or meeting with people and saying, oh, well, we want you for this and do that. I was like, nah, I want my own thing. And so I remember being, because I never stopped doing stand-up. And I would be in the club backstage hanging out with Kevin Hart and Cat Williams and D-Ray, Spanky Hayes. And they be like, yo, man, we trying to give us a job.
Right.
Like being funny.
Kevin asking you for a job,
yeah,
right?
Back then, yeah.
Which is crazy,
yeah,
right? Did you think Kevin would be where he is?
Man, I'm so proud of that brother. That dude is amazing.
He's getting it, like
all the way.
Yo, man, let me tell you, last Christmas season, I'm sitting in the theater. I forgot what black movie I was watching, and then the next 5 trailers was Kev. I was like, this is fucking ridiculous, man.
And he has that work ethic. You know what I mean? And that's even going back to back then. It's like it's only a few cats out here that really know how to get it, who know how to play the game the right way and have the talent to support it. And he's definitely one of those dudes. And in a real way, like I said, we was backstage hanging out at a comedy club, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna shoot something, and I'm gonna put my own money up. I rented out the comedy club,
which is a big mistake.
Yeah. Rented out the comedy club. Got my friend, got Kevin, got all of these people, and said, yo, we gonna do what we do backstage. We gonna improv. We gonna freestyle rap. We gonna crack on each other, Joan, all that. And then what it's gonna be is a show.
Right.
Nobody, because I tried to tell people like, yo, I want to do an hip hop comedy show. They're like, what is that?
Right.
And I was inspired by shows like, Uptown Comedy, and Living Color all of those things. And I was like, we got to do our version for this generation. And nobody was hearing me, so I shot it with my own money. Took it over there to MTV, but luckily because I shot it with my own money, I had the brand, and it was mine. I created Wildin' Out. It was, and from that, like you look today, it's still the #1 comedy in MTV history. All of that good stuff.
Why did MTV bet on you though? What was it that?
Because I had the tape.
You had the tape. You had it.
I shot it.
You were
they
self-sufficient.
Saw how special it
and they were
was.
like, we don't need to rely.
And if you don't want this, I'm gonna go across the street and give it to them.
Right.
You know, and because I was in the
and it was a success. It saved in a sense. King, you were saying it saved.
Yeah.
MTV.
Yeah, and that's and you know,
look at the transition. Is like MTV was in a weird place, and it's like, what's gonna be the next thing? You know?
And it kept hip hop alive on MTV.
Yeah,
because
no videos.
And this was the only place on television where you would see hip hop artists perform. We had Wayne, we had Kanye early. Kanye was my man. He came through like 3 times. You know what I mean? Like early on. And really having people say, so we was breaking comedians and rappers.
Right.
You know what I mean? And creating an environment, a destination that people wanted to be a part of. And still to this day, I mean, shoot, we 10 years in. We about to do
10 years in.
Yeah, we about to do our 100th episode this season.
10 years in.
Yeah.
Do you get tired of that shit?
Nah, man, it's fun. I only do it because it's fun.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, because even when it went away the first time, it's like, it got too expensive for MTV.
Right.
They was like, man, we can't pay you, you know, because you go as the...
You got that scale. You got to increase, right. I'm bringing you more money. You got to bring me more money.
So I was the highest paid person on MTV. They was like, yo, we got to slow down. So when I brought it back, I was like, man, y'all can keep y'all money.
Really?
I'm in it for the brand.
Really?
And that's what we doing right now.
Nice. So how do you go from there to America's Got Talent?
Another thing, you know, like I was trying to be a producer at the time.
Right.
You know, I had just recently got married. I was like, yo, let me fall back in front of being in front of the camera. I want to produce more shows. Right. So at that time, I'm also run Team Nick. You know, I was the chairman over there producing all of the shows at, you know, the teen division of Nickelodeon.
What does that mean, being a chairman?
Really,
that's a fancy fucking title.
Yeah, you know, because actually when I went in, and I said, yo, Oprah has her own network. Diddy about to start his own network. I went to Viacom, was like, I want my own network.
Right.
And at the time, it was called The N. And I was like, what's better than me running The N?
Right.
I'm The N. I'm incredible,
right.
you know? And I kind of went in with all my charts and graphs and PowerPoints and told them what I could do. And I had all my statistics and stuff, and they were really impressed. And through that, I actually asked for the job of a CEO.
Right.
Because I was like, I want to be the CEO. It was like, you can't be the CEO of a television network.
Right.
I was like, but you could be the chairman and oversee, you know, all of the development and the marketing and stuff. And, you know, I've had that.
So you actually go in?
Yeah, every day,
as much as possible.
On the 40th floor, 1515
that's
Broadway in
that's
the
crazy.
Viacom building. I was there today. You know, it's like, and real talk, it taught me so much. I mean, I got that job in 2008, youngest television chairman in television history. So to go from the youngest,
you're breaking all these records.
Yeah, to go from the youngest writer to the youngest chairman is like, you know, this is what we do, and we continuing to kind of blaze these trails.
So America's Got Talent.
So yeah, so what ends up doing, I was trying to produce. So I went into NBC to produce a couple of shows, and they're like, hey, have you ever seen this show America's Got Talent? I was like, yeah, I heard of it before. And he's like, would you think about hosting it? And I was like,
that's real American right there.
I was like, it's funny because they brought it to me. I had a film up at Sundance at the time. I was on my independent film, trying to be.
What film?
I think American Son.
Okay.
And it was a film that got selected to be at Sundance and stuff, and that's when they presented it to me. I was like, man, I'm trying to be a real actor.
Right.
I'm trying to be a
That's
thespian. I can't be. And they, you know, and again, it got back to the thing like, yo, well, you could be the first.
Right.
You could be the first to be a real actor and a television host.
Right.
You blaze your own trail.
But that was a big deal, though. Like, did you realize how big?
I didn't.
You didn't realize.
It was a nice check.
It was a nice check.
It was easy work, and it was like, oh, I can get a deal with NBC where I can produce my own show.
So you saw it as a means.
Yeah, I was like,
to
I'll host this for y'all.
Right.
If y'all go ahead and buy 2 or 3 of these shows.
Right.
And that's what it was.
Okay.
So it was a barter thing. I didn't know what it was going to turn into. I didn't know if
That's one of the biggest shows?
Yeah, it's the number one show every summer for the last 10 years.
What did that show do for your brand?
It really brought me to middle America.
Right.
It made me a household name to your grandmother. It made me a household name to your 2-year-old. You know what I mean? Because I had the Drumlines, I had the Wild 'N Outs, I had the hip hop, I had the chicks.
You had your core audience.
But I didn't, like, this is where now when I walk outside, everyone says, hey, Nick Cannon. You know what I mean? And it's like, I love it though, man. You know, it puts you on that path to the Ellens, the Oprahs, the people, you know what I mean? Like, that they see every single day in their household.
Yo, Nick, being on that scale though, like coming from comedy, doing stand-up, and really fostering a relationship with your black audience,
right,
and those that cross over to us,
right.
how intimidating is it crossing over to that scale, man?
Again, it goes back to being who you are,
Right.
being a solid cat.
Right.
You know what I mean? Of course, you get the people the haters that want to be like I think, you know me, and that's even one of the reasons why I created Wild 'N Out too. Like, I hear the jokes. I make the jokes.
Right.
I'm a comedian. You
Right.
can't say nothing about me that I ain't already said about myself, or that Kevin ain't already said to me, or Cat ain't already said.
I'm gonna disarm you.
So yeah, so I love them jokes. I love Nick Cannon's white and Nick Cannon's corny and all. Like, yo, but what are you really saying? That doesn't affect my core, because
Right.
I know who I am at the end of the day.
Right.
And my true fans and the people who truly rock with me know what it is. And it actually, I go all the way back to cats like Sammy Davis Jr. They
Sammy,
and you
man.
think about his legacy right now. One of the greatest entertainers to ever live. People respect his legacy, but during the time they didn't like him.
Right.
They didn't like.
He was a sellout.
He was a sellout. He was hanging out with the white boys.
He was the token. He was the only brother.
Yeah, singing and dancing and tap dancing. Even though, same thing with Muhammad Ali. You know what I mean? Like, during their time. So if I worried so much about what cats was saying within this 5-year period, or what they talking about on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, it would eat at you.
Right.
But I'm not worried about what's going on in these
Yep.
5 years. I'm
Yep.
building a legacy.
Exactly.
I'm 20 years in now,
That's crazy, man.
and I'm still young.
That's crazy. Let me ask you, man, how was there no conflict? You know, and this is the lawyer in me thinking, how is there no conflict between everything that you do for Viacom?
I don't sign exclusive deals.
So you don't.
Yeah.
But that's not an easy thing to do, man.
You got to be.
That's
you gotta
leverage.
Be smart.
That's
but
leverage.
It took me all the way back to my first deal with Will and Nickelodeon.
Right.
I learned leverage then. When they want you, they'll
make some exceptions.
And I always said I never want to sign anything exclusive.
Right.
So I want to be able to have the freedom to go do whatever I want to do. I'll take a pay cut.
Yo, why are you so fucking smart, dude? Like, how are you so? I'm serious, man.
I don't know,
How
man.
are you so fucking smart, Nick?
I think it's
like, where's this coming? Like, I understand all these mentors you had, but still,
I think it's the influence, man. Really, and seeing both sides of the game.
Right.
Growing up around hustlers and preachers.
you
know
talk
what
about
I'm
your
saying?
grandmother also.
Yeah, I love my grandmother, man. That's my core. That's my moral compass right there. She taught me everything I know about right and wrong. And to this day, man, I watched her foster over 100 foster children.
Wow.
You know what I mean? In the projects.
Right, in the projects.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, she ain't have nothing, but she was taking kids in.
Which is amazing.
You know what I'm
the
saying?
concept of service.
Yeah. And I think that's where I get my heart from. You know what I mean? She's the most amazing and giving and nurturing woman I've ever met. So to actually, and I think it's that. And then honestly, man, like, it's trials and tribulations. You learn from them, and
Right.
once you know, all of these mistakes I have made, I no longer make them, and now hopefully I could pass it on to the next generation.
You know, let's go to a quick break.
Yeah.
Quick break.
Yeah.
Internets, you tune into the Combat Jack. We got the hardest working man in the building, Nick Cannon. F your radio, F your TV show, and F your podcast.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Internets, today's sponsor is Casper Mattresses, obsessively engineered American-made mattresses at a shockingly fair price. And now you can get $50 towards any mattress purchase by going to Casper.com/combat and using the promo code COMBAT. Listen, Internets, you spend about a third of your life sleeping. Most of you cats are not staying woke. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, you know that insomnia is something that I struggle with from time to time, because Combat Jack Show and Combat Jack always stays woke. You'll see me firing off those tweets between 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. That's not fun. It's not because I want to, but because I can't sleep. But once me and my lady got a Casper mattress and laid it down in La Casa de Combat, I've been sleeping so much better. I still get little bouts of insomnia, but it's diminishing. I'm sleeping like a big fat teddy bear after Thanksgiving dinner. Please forgive the visuals. And if it makes such a big difference, and internet, it really does make a big difference when you're not waking up exhausted. Now, why does Casper work so well? Because Casper brings together two comfy technologies together for better nights and brighter days. Latex foam and memory foam. So they've got just the right sink, just the right amount of bounce, no matter how you sleep or no matter how you tap that ass. Casper has a risk-free trial and return policy. They'll deliver it straight to you, and you can try it for 100 days. And if you're not happy, if you're not satisfied, Casper will pick up the mattress back up. At the store, maybe you'll get a minute to try their mattresses, maybe 3 minutes, but with Casper, you'll actually get to sleep on it. It's $500 for twin-size mattresses and $950 for a king-size mattress. Be kings, my dudes. Be kings. Comparing those prices to industry averages, that is an outstanding price point. So get $50 towards any mattress purchase by going to Casper.com/combat and using the promo code COMBAT. It's the holidays. Get rid of those stained mattresses that I know you have in your house and get a new Casper mattress. Terms and conditions apply. And now back to the show.
Internet, you tuned into the Combat Jack Show. We got Nick Cannon sharing this amazing journey, man. Nick, man,
incredible.
Yeah,
you're doing these amazing things, and you're so blessed, man.
That's all it is.
But talk about your personal struggle, man, with lupus.
Yeah, lupus nephritis. It's crazy, man.
What is that?
It's an autoimmune disease, man, where your immune system starts to attack your organs.
Right.
And lupus attacks people in many different ways. As many people, they attack their brain. Like, luckily, I don't, at this point, I don't have that. But you can attack your heart. I've had issues with my heart and stuff coming. But it came in 2012. Grinding, hustling, boxing. I was up in Aspen with the family.
You had
boxing.
Never had no issues before?
No issues. I thought I was the most healthiest dude in the world.
Right. That's when you was doing your morning show, too.
Yeah. Morning show. I was grinding. Passed out over the New Year's holiday. And I remember being rushed to the hospital, and they told me I had kidney failure. And I was like, what? Like, nobody could figure out how it happened. I thought it was dehydration, all of these things.
You're not a big drinker, are you?
I don't drink at all.
At all?
At all. Yeah. And it was one of those things.
You burn?
A little bit. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. As you get, but that's good for you.
Yeah, my nigga.
That's good for you. That's good. But
I think it's fast. I think people that don't drink, man, is a real special breed of people, man.
Yeah. And I mean, it allows me to do what I do. It allows me to be on a 20-hour schedule and stuff like that, and still rocking the club. And, but
so you hear about this, you get the diagnosis, man.
And they give me the diagnosis, and I learned so much. I was in denial for so long. Even, I mean, shoot, I was in the hospital this summer. You know what I mean? It's like,
how were you in denial? Like when they were
not accepting it.
Right.
You know me, I think I'm superhuman.
Right.
So I'm like, man, I ain't got that. I'm gonna fight that. Especially when they don't know how to explain it to you properly. Right. And in that it's actually, lupus is a stress-driven disease. The more stressed you are, that can cause flare-ups because your body, your immune system's looking to attack something because they know something's wrong. It feels the stress, but it can't find anything phically, so it starts to attack your organs.
You carry a lot of stress?
I didn't think I did, but apparently I did. You know what I mean? And so, I've learned to deal with that.
How would you identify as like stress?
I guess
triggers?
Because I have so many things going on.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'll never sit still. All my life, I've had to take time for myself.
Right.
And I didn't do that before. It was always about the grind and helping others and doing it. Like sometimes you got to step back in prayer, meditation, burning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
taking those moments to get into your inner self and understand the God within you. That's what I feel like that has helped me. And then at the same time, nutrition, water, vegetables is real.
Sleep. Let's talk about sleep, man.
I'm still working on that one.
Let's talk about sleep.
I'm working on that one.
I heard you say before you were running on 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah, that's when I was doing my morning radio show. I would leave the club. I would leave DJing at 2 and be at the station at 4.
Doctors told you need at least 6 hours.
At least 6.
You're not getting 6.
I'm getting 6.
You getting 6?
A lot of it's on the plane, but I'm getting 6.
Yo, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And you're in it seems like you're in amazing shape.
Yeah, man. Well, that's when you have a health scare.
Right.
It ain't about looking good and having a six-pack. It's about staying alive.
Right.
So, and all that other stuff is a byproduct. So I'm in the best shape of my life because I'm trying to live.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I got to eat right. I got to go to the gym every day. I got to drink, 3 liters of water a day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
What did you give up? Did you give anything up?
For a while, I mean, when I first got sick, I was on what they call a renal diet for like a year, so I couldn't have no processed food, no sodium. It was crazy. Certain vegetables.
Oh my God, how painful is that?
Yeah, it was tough. It was real tough. But then now
you got all this money.
Yeah, and you can't
eat everything you want.
So I don't really rock. But again, because I'm not one of them dudes like to. They say how a vegan's in the room, he gonna tell you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be like one of those dudes like,
I don't eat that.
I eat right. I don't eat that. Don't give me the pork.
Right.
Whatever make you happy, eat it. But I know I eat to live.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so every once in a while I might go eat this or eat that, but ultimately I keep a strict diet of vegetables, water, protein, and just stay at it like that.
What's up with the candy though?
Love it. I can't shake it.
Candy's the biggest motherfucking drug.
I'm a candy crackhead, yo. I don't know. I think it's just one of those things.
Right.
I don't have. That's my vice.
Right.
Women and candy.
Women and candy. Speaking of great transition, how was single life, man?
Yo,
How is it?
It's the Victoria's Secret fashion show.
Yo.
Yo, it's so lovely. I mean, but in that, not to gloat in a sense of like being able to be a man and to be in a sense, but not having to actually like still being able to be the best father I could possibly be, still being the best helpmate I could possibly be, but still being able to enjoy life. It's beautiful, man. I mean, to have created 2 amazing children, and then to still be able to raise them daily, that's first and foremost the most important thing for me. But then to be able to be out here and still be that guy, it's good. I mean, obviously everybody goes through heartache and heartbreak,
Right.
but to come out on the other side is wonderful.
Yo, is it true what they say about divorce, man, that it's the most painful thing you can go through?
It's a different kind
like
of pain.
Somebody died, but they didn't. It's like
it's a different kind of pain, and a lot of my doctors and a lot of people think even my health,
right.
It was a lot of that was triggered. It was connected in a way because I was experiencing and holding things in that I didn't know I was holding in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I'm during my marriage is the best time for me because I became a man during that time.
Right.
And still growing.
How so?
I mean, even when you just think about from, I got married at, 28.
Which is young still.
Yeah.
It's very young.
And then having kids, like, so to be a father, to be able to understand, to be able to.
And to embrace it.
And strip your ego.
Right.
And live for others.
Right.
Which
is a big challenge for a man.
Yeah, man.
Successful man.
To take your ego away.
Yeah.
Yo, that was crazy. So I learned so much, and that was an invaluable situation for me to where I've grown and still growing every day and know that I'm still growing every day because of that situation. So it was tough. Don't get me wrong. And it's still tough. You know what I mean? Even to not be able to be with my children as much as I want to. You know what I mean? You want to be with them every second of the day, but it allows you to grow and allows you to appreciate the times that you do have.
How is it, man, falling in love with
the dream girl?
and not just a woman, and Mariah is definitely a woman, but what's the levels in terms of falling in love with an actual diva, like a real diva, like a living diva?
One of the most amazing things. Truly, I mean, there's no better word to describe it than a fairy tale.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because growing up, she being that one. I remember seeing in the Vision of Love video, the Someday video, like, yo, light-skinned shorty with the slim, I was all over it, like, at like 12, 13, and, everybody's like, man, that's out of your league. That's, as I got older, I was like, I had already had that mentality to speak it into existence. Ain't nothing out of my grasp. So, and to have a connection with someone outside of all the celebrity, because I thought it was gonna be on some like, yo, let me go pop at Mariah type stuff. I didn't think I was gonna fall in love with her and have a connection away, and found out how much of a real person she was and all that stuff, and that's somebody I wanted to build a family with. It was amazing, man.
You think you get married again?
Nah.
You're not getting married again?
I could never do it again.
No.
I don't think I'd ever do it again.
Right.
Man. And it's not
because why?
Just.
And that's honest, man. That's very, very honest.
I don't feel like I'm built that way, man. I gave it. I mean, even before Mariah, I always said like, yo, I would never be in a relationship unless it was with somebody like a Mariah or something. And then actually, I got the opportunity. I was like, well, shoot, let me go ahead and go in. And but it was always. I feel like that type of success is not what I've yearned for.
Right.
You know what I mean? I grew up in a single parent household. That family structure of a husband and a wife wasn't really an example for me really. So to work at that was like I wanted it. It seemed cool, but I also wanted other things and to be successful probably more. And when you two different people at the end of the day who want two different things out of life. So I would never want to experience to try to do that again, knowing that ain't even really what I'm chasing.
Right.
That's what society wants you to have. That's not really what I'm
chasing.
That's
real honest, man. And that's actually like mad, like super mature, man.
Thank you, man.
Did you do any therapy or anything like that?
Nah, I didn't. Everybody told me I should, though.
Right. Actually, you should. I mean, I'm doing some therapy right now, and it's ill hearing.
Yeah, hearing it back, but
hearing back from some other people that have a different perspective.
I have no problem talking with people. I mean, I talk with a lot of ministers and stuff all the time, but I've yet to sit down and spend them hours and just put me out there on the table. I respect it though. I feel like eventually one day I will do that.
How differently are you approaching single life this time than you did before?
So differently, and I feel like the
Hold on. I mean, I know Big Boy did this, but we just gotta go through these names again.
Man, see, you go.
We gotta go. Come.
I'm just saying the magnifying glass is on me so tough. It hurts my dating life.
Really?
Yeah, because now these females look at me like, oh, here he come.
He's back again.
The
wolf
on the prowl.
Yeah,
the wolf of Victoria's Secret is back.
They put their guard up. So like, I actually don't even chase like I used to chase when I was younger.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And you don't have to.
Yeah, it's so hopefully I connect with a individual that we kind of can build in a certain way, but I don't ever go after it like I used to. Like I used to be a chaser.
Right.
I was trying to be a conqueror. I was a savage.
No, you wasn't trying, dude. like you beat down a whole lot of motherfuckers or crushes, my dude.
And you know what? Like
a lot of
my ego loves that.
Right.
Real talk, it does.
Like, nigga, fuck Ray J, nigga. You hit it first, nigga.
Yeah. Yo, wow. But you know, the thing is now, as I'm learning, man, that you know, even just like a lot of that frivolous, I don't like to just give my energy to anybody because even within my health, man, you know,
that's key now.
You know what I mean? Like I can't have, you know, like you got 30 chicks calling you, like, all right, yo, okay, like that's a little too much.
Right.
You like and. Focusing on what's right. So as much as I love women, like I love women with a passion, yo. Like I heard Pac say he loved women like how Prince loved women. I love women like how both of them love women. You know what I mean? Like in that sense, but I love the energy of a woman.
Right.
I ain't necessarily got to be knocking it down, and that's like a conversation, the connection,
conversation, the dance,
all of that. That's what I love.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we out here.
Right. I'm not getting your business, man, but at Winnie Hollow, man, is special, man.
Oh, man, she's amazing.
She's amazing.
And just to dig into somebody's mind that has dealt with adversity and overcoming stuff, and to see her strength.
And then changing it though. Because Huskin is sexy, my dude.
Fly.
Yeah.
Out of here.
Shea butter.
So, you know, it's just, and really, I respect her spirit and her mind, but then in her journey more than anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and it's such an outstanding person, such a beautiful person.
You know, the cliche, or at least the general belief is that being a comic means you have a dark side.
Yeah.
What's your dark side, man? As much as you can delve into it.
I mean, obviously, I would always say, coming up the way that I did, you know, I don't see it as dark, but I came up the way most of us come up. You know what I mean? The unorthodox household, you know, dealing with stuff, dealing with the pressures of the hood, seeing your friends get killed, seeing, you know, we've all experienced it. You know, my story's no different, no lighter, no greater than most. But really understanding how to smile after all of that. You know, knowing how to smile, being broke, living in the projects, all of that.
Appreciation.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, I'm not afraid to go back there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like, yo, I wasn't supposed to be here.
Right.
This was a blessing to be here, man. So I would say my darkness comes from those times of remembering that grind, and then sometimes getting so selfish in it. You know what I mean? That sometimes you be like, all right, well, shoot, I did it. You know, and
it's mine.
It's
I'm
mine.
Gonna spend it.
I'm gonna do it the way I want to do it.
Right.
You know, ain't nobody help me get here. You know what I mean?
When in fact, a lot of people helped you.
Exactly. So as a man, I had to realize, yeah, you work hard, and you did overcome a lot of obstacles, but that don't make you Superman.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I had to let a lot of that go. I had a lot of anger. You know what I mean? I had a lot of anger of what other people thought about me. Cats don't know I'm really from here, from the hood. I'm really, none of that stuff matters. You know what I mean? And even with all of the Chi-Raq stuff going on, it's challenging.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I love it. I embrace it because I get another opportunity. I get another crack at to talk to these young brothers and sisters out here to say, just embrace being yourself.
Right.
We really out here trying to save lives. We really out here trying to allow artists to change the world, and that's what we getting at.
Yo, what drives you, man? Like how much money
used to drive me.
How much money is enough? And let me go back a little bit. You're wealthy.
I'll take that.
You're wealthy. And then when you combined at the time,
right,
your net worth with Mariah, like how much money is too much money? How much money is enough money?
You know, money is an idea, man.
Right.
Honestly,
Well, money is definitely an idea when you got it.
Yeah, no, but even the idea, no, because real talk, some of the people, and this will give you a look into how this game actually works. Some of the people that you think got the most money in the world don't have no money at all. You know what I mean? Some of the people that you don't think have money be caked up. And it's also, and it's interesting because the way, and I'm telling you, from Donald Trump to Diddy to all of these people can tell you, yo, you can make all of this money and not have liquid money the next day,
right?
And be bankrupt. But so the idea of you gotta have that wealthy mentality, because it's gonna be those ups and downs,
right?
You know, you're gonna be cash heavy at some points, and sometimes you're gonna be like, yo, what we gonna do? I might have to mortgage this house to keep this lifestyle.
Right.
You know what I mean? You never, but
because it's all relative, also.
Exactly, man.
Like your lifestyle now.
Exactly.
It costs money.
So my thing is, it's not about the amount. Actually, it's not. And I feel like I've gotten to a place now where it's about giving to others. I want to build, man. I want to create a legacy. And that's what it's about, really going back and building these community centers, getting into these young people and empowering them in a way to where when I ain't here no more, they can be like, that dude left a leg. And everything that I do with children's hospital and stuff. When you see these cats who got that real bread, these real wealthy people, that's who them buildings is named after. Who them streets is named after. That's what I'm chasing right now.
Now, and are you running away from anything too, man?
And
in terms of your chase for something, are you running away from something, man?
I don't know. That's a good question. I got to think about that.
Because you're running hard, my dude.
Yeah, I think.
And I'm not qualified as a psych, but you running hard, B.
Because I think the moments where you do sit down and reflect, like when I was in the hospital this summer, having that moment to reflect, and I had so many revelations, it is overwhelming.
Right.
So I think if I do stop running, it might be too heavy for me.
Right.
And when you say if I'm running away from something, I'm definitely running. I want to live. You know what I mean? And it's one of those things where I feel like I'm on borrowed time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I got to get it where I can get it.
Right.
I don't want this disease to take me down. I don't want this, you know what I mean? Whatever it is. So I'm like, I'm going to live every day like it's my last. And honestly, that's probably if I was running from something, I'm running from them chasing me like that.
By the way, going back, man, when you had that little tiff with little beef with Eminem, my money was on you.
Hey,
I was like, you can't out rap Eminem, but I know you would kick his ass.
Yeah, I definitely would kick his ass. But
yes, Nick.
But only thing is, in my top 5, he's number 2.
Yes.
I respect him. I've always been a fan, and even now that we got past it. But that was just something like, yo, you're not gonna disrespect my family.
Right.
Not to me, and I expect me to say something. I wanted to, and it wasn't like, oh, I want to see you so we could fight. It wasn't that at all. I want to see you so we could talk like men.
Right.
Let's get to the bottom of it.
And what's amazing is this is Eminem. Like this is rap god, right?
Yeah.
White rap god at that. Like
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? White Jesus.
Yeah.
Rap Jesus.
Real talk.
And you going at him like you're going at him.
Right. And that was the thing. Like, I ain't going to try to out-rap you, my dude. Like, that's what I said. I wrote a letter.
Cannon don't know no Twitter fingers.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, let's just really, I really wanted to, and I was calling his manager. I was talking to, at the time, God rest his soul, Chris Lighty was, you know, in all of our lives at the time. And I was like, yo, let's talk about, let's get your man and let's figure it out.
What was your involvement with Chris?
Chris actually was one of my first managers.
Really? Get the fuck
I was
out
Violator.
Yo,
he introduced me to
almost every other person that walks in here.
Yeah,
Chris, they were managed. Yo,
yeah, Chris, and then from then I actually.
So you was Violator for
and
real.
And I put Chris with Mariah at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, so
that's crazy, man.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, special dude, man, very special dude, and actually help create hip-hop relationships in so many different ways with the corporate world, with each other.
Yes.
You know, he got me and Buster tight, you know, like all of that stuff. So, but at that time, man, yeah, I got Fearless tattooed on my body. I'm not scared of nothing in life. And, you know, going through what we've all gone through, but then even at that time, having that belief in God and in belief in the universe in a way to where there's no reason to fear.
Right.
And so that I was like, yo, if let's talk about it. I was at award shows looking for dude, like not like on some rah-rah stuff, but like, yo, this is something we really got to talk about because you disrespected my family at the time.
Exactly.
So we got to talk about this, man. Like you said that you got to be accountable. I think everybody should be able to say whatever they want to say in this world
and be accountable. Be accountable.
Be
accountable. A lot of people don't know how to be accountable.
Yeah,
man.
and that's why I love being in front of this mic.
Right.
Because I will say anything and hold my ground to it, whatever comes with it. Because I'm a man of my word. if I say something, I mean it. You know what I mean? And I think in entertainment, people feel like they don't have to be accountable. So nah, you gotta stand up. If you say that to my face as a man. Let's talk about this. And that's anything. And you know, from whether I'm out there cracking these jokes, I stand by these jokes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whether it is
of course.
MCing, hip hop, whatever it is. And that's even like, and that's even why I create that environment on Wildin' Out. So I want you to come up and talk about this.
Right.
In a jokingly manner.
Exactly.
Show that you don't take everything in the world so serious.
That's dope.
But at the same time, you still got to be a person, a human, and solid. And that's all I want cats to. It's very few solid individuals in entertainment. Very few. I could count them on my hand.
Is it disappointing, man? Is it a lonely place?
Because you want people to be so solid. You want cats to have that same mentality that your dudes on the block got,
right?
Or just that your family has for you. And you look for the friendship because you guys have so much stuff in common, but you on that constant grind that you forget to be a real person to these people that you work with.
Have you ever had to check how solid you were?
Yeah, absolutely. Because this game of turn you flaky.
I'm slipping.
Yeah, this game of turn.
I just did that.
Yeah, like, and that's the thing. And it's everything from like, you hit the beat like, yo, here's my number, call me anytime. Right. Let's sit in. And you're like, yeah, I can't be doing that if I ain't really about that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it starts small like that. To where you find yourself like, yo, I'm not even a man of my word anymore. So, you step back and say, yo, everything I want to do.
Don't get comfortable lying.
Yeah. I want to be solid, man.
Right.
I want to be accountable for everything that I say and do.
Excellent, man. You're managing.
Yeah.
How do you like managing, man?
I don't really like it. I'm going to be honest.
It's a hard job.
And I manage with a lot of people. I manage with Blue Williams.
Yes.
Who
shout out to Blue.
Yeah.
Outkast.
Yeah. Outkast. Everybody.
Shout out to him too, because he was trying to make this happen.
Yeah. And that's my guy, man. And I learned, Blue was my manager in the music game, and I learned from him, Chris Lighty, all of these dudes who do it so well, and they say it's a thankless job, man.
It's a thankless job. Man.
When the artist is winning, they forget about you. When they hurting,
it's your fault.
It's your fault.
It's all your fucking fault.
So it's like, but that's why I only work with people who I really care about.
Right.
You know what I mean? I pick and choose. You know what I mean? And I don't sell no wolf tickets. I don't sell dreams. Like, yo, if you work hard, we can help you. If not, and that's the only reason why I manage is because I have a brand that I can connect you to Viacom. Right. I could connect you to these corporate worlds. I could connect you, but if you don't have something to offer to these people, then I can't do nothing for you.
I don't know if this is your handiwork, man, but you doing, whoever it is, y'all doing a good job with Amber.
Hey, man,
keeping her in the light, and then
she's outstanding. She's outstanding,
and how she's coming out of her.
And that was somebody
past role into whatever this role is morphing into.
I believe in her, dog.
Right.
And to me, I always believe in the underdog. I've been the underdog, and that's when you look at the people that I work with. I focus on the underdog. I want to work with the people that everybody is hating on.
Right.
I want to work and to find something special in them. You know what I mean? And I always thought, I was like, man, that woman, she's powerful, dog. She's a true curator. She's a true person, who people gravitate towards her. And I was like,
she is that. She's definitely magnetic.
And let's take that magnetic and polarize it at the same time. You know what I mean?
Which is a great. Exactly. Everybody don't gotta like you.
Yeah, and let's take that energy and focus on it and turn you into a businesswoman.
Yes.
Speak and stand for something, because she does. She has a remarkable story. So that's when I was like, yo, I'm gonna go get you
from Philly, right?
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna go get you this book deal, and I want you not necessarily to tell the life story of Amber Rose, but inspire women who are going through the exact same thing that you're doing.
Yep.
And that's what she's doing, man.
Doing a great job with Soulja Boy too, man.
You know what? We worked with Soulja back in the day. We ain't worked with him in a while.
No, she's not working with him right now.
Nah, because he was working with Chris and all that stuff. But
damn,
I mean,
Chris worked with everybody.
Yeah, but I respect that young brother, man.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but
he changed the game, and he kind of set the foundation for where. And some people might be mad.
He did a lot,
but he set the foundation for where we are right now.
Yeah, real talk. And when we did work together briefly, I was like, this young dude got it. You know what I mean? And it's just certain brands click and certain things don't work, but I always wish him the best, because he got the right mindset.
Yep. You still doing the headphones?
Yeah, man. I actually got some really big stuff popping off, but we made about $75 million at Walmart with the Monster headphones for his run. But now I got a new position in the corporate world in technology that's about to be announced. That's going to be crazy.
Congratulations on that, man.
Yeah, because we went from headphones to tablets, and now we going from we doing everything.
Right.
You about to see incredible everything, TV,
I believe you. I
speakers,
believe
and
you,
all
man.
of that.
Incredible Combat Jack show.
Yeah.
I definitely believe you, man.
So because we were so successful in headphones and tablets, now we've got a deal to where we actually gonna be making all electronics.
That's good, man.
So I say I'm trying to build my own Sony.
Rich
You know what I mean?
forever.
You know what I'm saying?
Rich forever.
So not only do I make the content, but I make the things.
So now
that
you can
watch
sleep.
the
Now you're about
content.
to be able to sleep, right?
Exactly.
Add a couple more hours so you're sleeping a whole 9.
This next 5 years is about to be my craziest.
That's
grind.
crazy.
This next 5, because after that, I just want to coach Pop Warner football
Right.
and watch my daughter run track and all of that. So this next 5 years, I'm about to go get it. It's about to be so different right now.
What's your charity?
I got a lot, man.
Okay, what are your charities?
Obviously, we have the Nick Cannon Foundation that
Right.
focuses on empowering the youth.
Right.
But there's a lot of things that I've created, what I've done with Nickelodeon called the Halo Awards, helping and leading others, where we focus on other young people. That we take all of the celebrities. I done had everybody from LeBron to Justin Bieber to Lady Gaga to Taylor Swift come and empower these young people who are making a change in their community.
Nice.
So Halo is something that I created with Teen Nick about 6-7 years ago. That's one of the foundations that mean the most to me. St. Mary's Children's Hospital is something that I'm on the board of, that I'm really passionate about. And the thing that I'm the most passionate about right now is something I'm building with Viacom. Me and the Viacom CEO, Philippe Demond, created this thing that we call Help the Hood. And my man Shaheem, shout out from that used to work up at MTV.
Shaheem Reed, what up, Sha?
Yeah.
What up, Sha?
We created this thing a few years back with MTV News called Help the Hood.
Right.
And it was a show. It was like we were doing with MTV News, and now I've turned it into a whole organization.
That's dope.
Kind of like Live Aid, that's going to be across Viacom, where we going into these cities, dog. Like, forget talking about how many cars you got and how much jewelry and all that. We want these rappers, these
we got to be past
athletes
that right now.
to come back and build their communities in which they came.
Right.
Because that's what these communities need. And we starting in Chicago, and we starting in New Orleans, and we starting out west. And it's going to be every year. We're going to build a community center. We're going to build a playground. And I'm bringing everybody in a big way. All of the corporations, and Viacom is backing this on me, and it's
That's dope, man.
We rocking. You
That's
know
dope.
what I mean?
That's
and,
dope.
and that's probably my biggest passion. Because
Congratulations,
we can,
man.
Thank you, man. Because we can help the world.
Yes.
We always want to get out
We
there
got
and
enough
get billions.
money. We got enough
out
money
there.
to help the world.
No, let's help our communities.
Yeah.
Let's help these young brothers and sisters
Yep.
that are dying every day.
Yep.
All they need is that hand to know that we care. These people that they buying our music, they buying our movies, they buying all of that stuff. Let's give back to those communities in which we came. And that's what it's all about.
Very good.
Yeah.
Chi-Raq, December 4th.
Yes. That's what
Can't
it's all
wait,
about.
right?
Saving lives, yo.
Saving lives.
Making people. It's art, man.
Yes.
That brother Spike Lee know what he's doing, and I'm
Yes,
just
sir.
following his lead.
Yeah,
Can't wait
and
for
I think a lot of people are following your lead, Nick. I'm really honest about that, man.
I
Really
appreciate
sincere,
that.
man.
I appreciate that.
Definitely, man. Appreciate this. Any last words, man? Where can people find you? I'm sure you're everywhere on people's TV.
Just type in Nick Cannon.
Nick Cannon.
Or
Google,
Incredible.
Google me.
Incredible.
Wait, hold
It
on.
ain't over.
Wait,
You gotta ask him the question.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
oh, that's
on.
right. You know what? Thank you,
You had
King.
your twist.
You know, I'm running and
It's so good.
shit upstairs.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good.
Top 5 comics.
Ooh.
Oh, nice one.
Top 5 comics.
Top
I was ready for the MCs. All right. Comics. Man. Gotta give it to Richard.
Yes.
Dick Gregory.
Yo,
Classic.
you that dude, man.
Yeah.
Classic.
Dick
You that
Gregory,
dude.
I'm gonna go to number 1.
Yo, your
Dick
whole
Gregory.
respect level just
Yeah.
skyrocketed through the ceiling.
Dick Gregory. Pryor.
Mm-hmm.
George Carlin.
Calling, yes.
Wow.
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy, the God, B.
And Whoopi Goldberg.
Why Whoopi?
Because she's real. She's real. Like people like, and I respect it in the way, like she did the clubs and all of that and it's special.
She came up.
But she did it on Broadway.
Right.
She did it, and that's the way, and real, from like, when I say real, from homeless,
Never changed.
drugs,
Right.
and gave it to you all. People forgot about them specials, them award-winning specials. You know, they call it an EGOT for a reason. She got the Emmys, the Grammys, the Tonys, and the Oscars. People forget about, and to be a woman, a black woman, and get it.
And still doing it daily.
Still doing it.
Right. You have a relationship with her?
After she's in my film that I shot in Jamaica.
Nice. What's this film, man?
King of the Dance Hall.
King of the Dance Hall.
I went down there, wrote, directed, starred in this movie. Y'all gonna see it.
Jamaican accent?
Lord,
I'm a kid from Brooklyn, so
boy.
He wasn't gonna perpetrate.
But Buster, who is
Buster,
Jamaican, he plays
the blood clot.
he plays my big cousin the whole
He
time.
had dread wig, like a wig dread. Like
Nah, it wasn't no dread. It was just real straight 100, like kept it all the way. You gonna see. It's,
When is this coming out, man?
next year, King of the Dance.
Theatrical?
Yeah, everybody's in it. Beanie Man, Kamani Marley,
Wow.
Ninja Man,
Ninja Man.
all of that.
You
Yo.
got Bone Tequila in there?
Nah, Bounty was busy, but we
Right.
tried. We got some Bounty music in there. But
Nice.
it's telling the whole story, man. We was out there in Kingston for months.
That's dope, man.
wow.
So you look to that. And Whoopi plays my mom. Lou Gossett Jr.'s in it. It's
Damn.
real. It's real. It's real. So right after Chi-Raq, y'all gonna see King of the Dance.
Yo, man, thanks for this inspiration, my dude.
No doubt.
Like for real, again and again. And if you got anything,
Thank you, man. Like I said, I'm a fan. I respect what you do. You know what I mean? And everything from your business acumen to how you move on the mic and all of that. It's inspiring, man.
Yes, sir.
It truly is.
I'm glad that this finally happened, man. Once again, man, shout out to Jamal, man.
Shout out
Yeah.
Jamal.
And Aja, man. Like, yo, she been working around the clock to make this happen, man.
I appreciate it.
Definitely shout out to her.
My whole team.
Yep, your whole team, King.
Yo, man, this is incredible.
Yeah. No
Incredible.
pun, right?
No pun.
Pun intended, right?
And whenever you want to display some of those new technologies, please.
I'm sending them to y'all.
Yes, sir.
I see. I ain't hating on the headphones that y'all got, but
No,
y'all
no,
gonna get
no.
a whole case of
Listen,
mine.
listen.
coming.
These headphones is cool, but
These
we
is nice. I got you.
Yeah. Damn, your man's paying attention.
Yeah, they coming. They coming.
Yo,
Nah, this is
internets.
dope, man. This is dope.
Internets. Thanks again, Nick, and King and everybody else.
Yeah.
Internets, you know what this is, man. Dream those dreams and then man up, woman up, and live those dreams, because a life without dreams is black and white, and the universe flows in technicolor and surround sound. Word to Frankie Crocker. Wow.
Yeah.
This episode of the Combat Jack Show was produced by Jonathan Mena, executive produced by A. King and Chris Morrow, engineered by Samir Karan, and recorded in the Engine Room Audio Studio in downtown Manhattan. This is an official Loudspeakers Networks production.